The scent of furniture polish and stale coffee hits me before I even cross the threshold. Mother's way of masking death with Pine Sol and Maxwell House hasn't changed in 30 years. I pause at the doorway, my hand hovering over the brass knocker she refuses to replace. Just walk in, Emily. It's still your home. Mother's voice, sharp as ever, cuts through the screen door. I swallow hard and push inside. The living room is exactly as I remember, every doily, every crystal figurine placed with surgical precision. Only Dad's ancient recliner is missing, leaving a conspicuous void in the carpet's worn pattern. 3 days. Mother doesn't look up from her crossword puzzle. Your father's been gone 3 days, and you finally show up. I came as soon as I could get away from work. The lie tastes bitter. Truth is, I spent those 3 days sitting in my apartment, staring at airline websites, trying to convince myself I could face this house again. Ryan's been here since day one. She fills in another word with her precise handwriting. He and Samantha have been absolutely invaluable. Of course they have. Saint Ryan and his perfect wife, probably already calculating their inheritance while Dad's body was still warm. How are you holding up? I ask, though I already know the answer. Oh, managing. She sighs dramatically. Though it would be easier if everyone pitched in equally. There it is. Not even 5 minutes, and we're already dancing our old routine. I drop my bag and head for the stairs, needing to escape before. Emily. Her voice stops me mid-step. We need to discuss the arrangements. Your father left some complications. I turn slowly. Mother has finally looked up from her puzzle, fixing me with that calculating stare I remember from childhood. The one that always preceded some new disappointment. What kind of complications? Financial ones. Ryan's voice makes me jump. He's standing in the kitchen doorway, Samantha hovering behind him like a well-dressed shadow. Dad wasn't as prepared as we thought. Meaning? Meaning, Samantha steps forward, all sympathetic smiles and predatory eyes. We need to talk about how we're going to support your mother. As a family. The way she emphasizes family makes my skin crawl. I look between their faces, Mother's practiced suffering, Ryan's false concern. Samantha's barely concealed satisfaction, and suddenly Dad's absence feels like a physical wound. Let me get settled first, I manage. We can discuss everything tomorrow. But as I climb the stairs to my old room, I already know tomorrow will be too late. They've had 3 days to set their trap, and I've just walked right into it. Sleep doesn't come easy in my childhood bedroom. Every creak of the old house reminds me of whispered conversations downstairs, the kind that always stopped when I appeared. Some habits die hard. I'm halfway down the stairs when I hear them in the kitchen. She's doing well for herself, Samantha's voice carries through the hallway. That promotion last year must have come with a nice bump. Marketing executive. Ryan's laugh drips with disdain. Fancy title for someone who makes Instagram posts all day. I pause, knuckles white against the banister. The smell of coffee draws me forward, despite every instinct screaming to retreat. Good morning, I announce, stepping into the kitchen. Ryan and Samantha exchange looks over their mugs. Mother busies herself with the coffee maker, her back deliberately turned. Sleep well, dear? Samantha's smile doesn't reach her eyes. Tommy's been asking about his Aunt Emily. Where is he? Soccer practice. Ryan drives him every morning. Such a devoted father. The praise hangs in the air like poison gas. I pour myself coffee, noting how Mother has already set out Ryan's favorite mug but left me to search the cupboards. We need to discuss the funeral costs, Mother announces suddenly. Ryan's already offered to handle half. Half of what exactly? I keep my voice steady, professional. The tone I use with difficult clients. 40,000. Ryan slides a paper across the counter. Premium package. Dad deserved the best. I scan the itemized list, my stomach turning. These prices are inflated. The funeral home downtown charges half for the same services. That cheap place? Mother's shoulders stiffen. What will people think? They'll think we're practical. I push the paper back. I'll make some calls. It's already arranged, Samantha interrupts. We couldn't wait for you to grace us with your presence. The deposit's paid. The kitchen falls silent except for Mother's aggressive dishwashing. I study my brother's face, searching for any trace of the kid who used to sneak me extra dessert when I was sad. Fine. I pull out my phone. I'll transfer my share now. But from here on, we make these decisions together. Of course, Ryan agrees too quickly. We're family. As I type in the amount, I catch their reflection in the window, Ryan and Samantha exchanging satisfied glances, Mother's small nod of approval. They think they've won this round. But they don't know about the conversation I had with Dad's lawyer last night. They don't know about the real will, the one Dad changed 3 months ago. Not yet. I hit send on the transfer and smile into my coffee. Let them play their games. For now. The bank statement trembles in my hands. Mother's account details spread across the kitchen table like evidence at a crime scene. Each transaction tells its own story, thousands transferred to Ryan's account monthly, credit card payments for Samantha's shopping sprees. Cash withdrawals that have bled the balance dry. What are you doing? Mother's voice cuts through the silence. She stands in the doorway, face pale, beneath her perfect makeup. Trying to understand why you need my help when Dad left you well provided for. I tap the paper. $200,000, Mother. Gone in 18 months. Those are private. Dad made me executor. Nothing about this estate is private from me anymore. She sinks into a chair, shoulders curved inward. For a moment, she looks her age. Ryan needed help with his business ventures. You mean his gambling debts? How dare you? I spoke to Uncle James. The words hit her like physical blows. He told me everything. How Ryan borrowed against the house. How you've been covering for him for years. James had no right. He had every right. Dad made him promise to watch over you, and you've been systematically destroying everything Dad worked for. Mother's face hardens. You abandoned us. Ryan stayed. He deserves. To bleed you dry? To risk your home? I did what any mother would do. She slams her hand on the table. While you were off building your perfect life, Ryan needed me. Where were you when he lost his job? When Samantha was pregnant? When? When he lost $50,000 at the casino last month? The silence that follows is deafening. Mother's hands shake as she smooths her blouse, a nervous habit from my childhood. You don't understand family loyalty, she finally whispers. No, I understand it too well. Dad knew what Ryan was doing. That's why he changed his will. Her head snaps up. What? The reading's tomorrow. Ryan and Samantha don't know yet. I gather the bank statements. Dad left everything in a trust. One I control. The color drains from her face. You can't. I can. And I will. I stand, forcing myself to meet her eyes. The money stops now. No more enabling Ryan's addiction. No more covering Samantha's spending. No more. Then you'll kill this family, she spits. No, Mother. I'm trying to save what's left of it. I leave her at the table, but her words follow me upstairs. Through my bedroom window, I watch Ryan's car pull into the driveway. Tomorrow, everything changes. Tomorrow, they learn what real family loyalty means. And I'm finally ready to teach them. The lawyer's office feels too small for all this rage. Ryan paces like a caged animal, while Samantha's manicured nails drum against the mahogany desk. Mother sits perfectly still, a statue of disapproval. This can't be legal. Ryan's voice cracks. Dad would never. Your father was of sound mind when he made these changes. Mr. Harrison adjusts his glasses. The trust is ironclad. Emily has full control over all assets, including the house. Samantha's fingers stop drumming. The house? But Margaret lives there. Mother can stay as long as she wishes. I keep my voice steady. But no more loans, no more cash withdrawals without my approval. You sanctimonious bitch. Ryan whirls on me. You think Dad made you executor because you're responsible? He did it because you're cold. Heartless. Just like him. Ryan, Mother warns, but he's beyond hearing. You left us. For 10 years, you barely called. I was here, taking care of them, while you built your perfect little life in the city. Taking care of them? I stand slowly. Is that what you call gambling away their retirement? Mortgaging the house without telling them? Samantha rises. We had investments. You had debts. Still do, according to these. I slide the casino statements across the desk. 200,000, Ryan? Did Mother know when she covered that last marker? Mother's sharp intake of breath answers that question. I was going to pay it back. Ryan's swagger crumbles. I had a system. The system stops now. I turn to Mr. Harrison. Please explain the terms. He clears his throat. The trust will cover living expenses, medical bills, property maintenance. Any additional withdrawals require Emily's authorization. So we're supposed to beg? Samantha's voice drips venom. Come crawling to Emily for an allowance? You can earn your own money. I meet her glare. Novel concept, I know. Ryan moves closer, using his height to loom over me. You think you've won? That you can control us? No, Ryan. I'm trying to save us. All of us. I gather my papers. Even from ourselves. Emily. Mother's voice stops me at the door. Your father would be ashamed. I turn back one last time, taking in their faces, Ryan's fury, Samantha's calculation, Mother's practiced martyrdom. A tableau of manipulation I've known my whole life. No, Mother. Dad knew exactly what he was doing. And so do I. I close the door on their protests, but my hands shake as I press the elevator button. They'll fight this, of course. Try to break the trust, challenge Dad's competency, paint me as the villain. Let them try. I've spent my whole life preparing for this battle. I just never thought it would hurt quite this much to win it. Tommy finds me in Dad's study, surrounded by financial documents and half-empty coffee cups. His small frame lingers in the doorway, clutching something behind his back. Aunt Emily? Mom said I shouldn't talk to you anymore. I set down the papers. What do you think about that? He shuffles forward, revealing a worn shoebox. Grandpa gave me this before. He said to show you when everyone started fighting. My throat tightens as he places it on the desk. Inside, beneath layers of yellowed receipts, lies a familiar blue notebook, Dad's private ledger. Did you look inside? I ask. Tommy shakes his head. Grandpa said it would make you sad. But that you needed to see it anyway. The front door slams downstairs. Ryan's voice booms through the house, slurred and angry. Tommy flinches. Go to your room, sweetheart. Lock the door. He hesitates. Dad's been different since Grandpa died. Mom keeps crying when she thinks I'm asleep. Footsteps thunder up the stairs. Tommy disappears just as Ryan bursts in, reeking of whiskey and desperation. The bank called. His eyes are wild. They're foreclosing on my house. My house, Emily. I open the ledger, and everything falls into place. Years of transactions, carefully documented, money borrowed, never repaid. Properties mortgaged, refinanced, mortgaged again. A spiral of debt with Ryan at its center. Jesus, Ryan. How many people did you borrow from? I can fix this. He grabs the desk for support. Just release some money from the trust. 20,000 would disappear like all the rest. I close the ledger. You need help, Ryan. Real help. Help? He laughs, harsh and broken. You want to help? Samantha's talking divorce. Tommy. His voice cracks. I might lose my son. Then let me help the right way. There's a treatment center. I don't need rehab. He swipes the ledger off the desk. I need my sister to stop playing God with my life. The crash brings Mother running. She takes in the scene, Ryan swaying, tears streaming down his face, me standing amid scattered papers. Emily, please. Mother's voice breaks. Whatever your father thought, he was wrong. Ryan needs us. Family helps family. I look between them, my brother drowning in his addiction, my mother enabling his descent, both of them expecting me to do the same. Dad's words echo in my head, sometimes love means watching them hit bottom. No. I steady my voice. Family tells the truth. And the truth is, this ends now. Ryan lunges for me, but his drunk legs betray him. He crashes into the bookshelf, sending Dad's photographs shattering to the floor. Like our family, I think. Breaking apart one piece at a time. The police lights paint the house in alternating red and blue. I watch from the porch as they load Ryan into the cruiser, his hands cuffed behind his back. Samantha stands in the driveway, mascara streaking her cheeks, while Tommy clings to her leg. He tried to burn down your office, Miss Parker, the officer explains. Security caught him before he could do much damage. Mother emerges from the house, her face carved from stone. This is your fault. No. My voice sounds strange, distant. This is what enabling looks like. He's your brother. And that's why I called them. The words taste like ash. Because next time, he might succeed. Samantha approaches, Tommy trailing behind. They're taking our house. Everything we own. Her laugh is brittle. Happy now, Emily? Is this the revenge you wanted? Aunt Emily? Tommy's voice cracks. Where will we go? The question hits harder than any accusation. I reach for him, but Samantha pulls him back sharply. Don't touch him. You've done enough. I can help. Help? Samantha's voice rises. You destroyed us. Ryan's going to jail, we're homeless, and you're standing there talking about help? Mother steps between us. There's still time to fix this. Drop the charges. Release the trust money. So Ryan can drink it away? Gamble it? Maybe next time he'll succeed in burning down more than just an office. Please. Mother grabs my arm. I'm begging you. Don't do this to your family. I look at them all, Mother's desperate plea, Samantha's hatred, Tommy's confusion. The family I've spent my life trying to protect, even from themselves. Dad's voice echoes in my head, sometimes the hardest love is the kind that hurts. I've arranged for a place, I say quietly. A treatment facility for Ryan. And there's an apartment, paid for 6 months, for you and Tommy. I look at Samantha. Time to start over. Clean. Go to hell. Samantha turns away, pulling Tommy with her. Margaret? A new voice cuts through the tension. Uncle James stands at the bottom of the steps, holding papers. We need to talk about the house. Mother's face crumples. James, please. You remortgaged it. He looks at me. Behind Emily's back. The bank's calling it in. The world tilts sideways. All Dad's careful planning, the trust, the protection I thought I'd built, meaningless. Mother had found a way around it all, one final betrayal. I watched the police car disappear into the night, carrying my brother toward either salvation or destruction. Behind me, the house that holds 38 years of memories stands empty, waiting for new owners. Sometimes revenge doesn't taste like victory. Sometimes it tastes like ashes and regret, and the bitter knowledge that doing the right thing feels exactly like doing the wrong one. The moving truck idles in front of our childhood home. I watch Mother direct the movers with mechanical precision, her designer handbag clutched like a shield. 3 decades of memories reduced to cardboard boxes and bubble wrap. You could stop this. She doesn't turn to face me. One phone call to the bank. Like the calls you made? Forging my signature on the mortgage documents? Her shoulders stiffen. I did what I had to do. For Ryan. Ryan's in rehab because of what you did. What we all did. The movers carry out Dad's antique desk, the one where he taught me about budgets and responsibility. Where he must have sat alone, watching his family crumble, planning his final intervention through the trust. Samantha called. Mother's voice catches. Tommy's struggling in the new school. He asks about his father every night. I know. She lets me talk to him sometimes. This makes her turn. You've been in contact? Someone has to tell him the truth. That his father's getting help, not just abandoned him like, I stop, but the old wound bleeds anyway. Like you think I abandoned you? Mother steps closer. Is that what this is about? Punishment for choosing Ryan? No. My hands shake as I pull out Dad's ledger. It's about this. Every loan, every bailout, every time you chose enabling over love. Dad saw it killing Ryan, and you just kept feeding the disease. I kept this family together. You kept us sick. The words echo across the empty yard. Look around, Mother. The house is gone. Ryan's in rehab. Samantha's working 2 jobs. All your careful management, your perfect family image, where did it get us? She reaches for the ledger, but I pull it back. Her hand hangs between us, trembling. I did my best, she whispers. I know. The anger drains, leaving only exhaustion. That's what makes it tragic. The moving truck groans to life. Mother watches it pull away, taking the last pieces of her carefully constructed world. The apartment's ready, I say quietly. The one I arranged. Close to Tommy's new school. You think that makes you better than me? Playing savior instead of mother? No. It makes me different. I'm choosing to break the cycle, not perpetuate it. She picks up her purse, the last item in a house that once held everything. You'll understand when you have children. Sometimes love means letting them face consequences? I finish. Dad taught me that lesson. I wish you'd let him teach Ryan. Mother walks to her car without looking back. As she drives away, I open Dad's ledger one last time. Between the columns of numbers, he'd written a final note: love without truth isn't love at all. I close the book and lock the door on our old life. Sometimes the greatest act of love is walking away. The rehab center's garden smells of autumn leaves and fresh mulch. Ryan sits across from me at the wooden picnic table, his hands wrapped around a coffee cup, looking older and younger at the same time. Tommy's report card came. I slide the envelope across the table. Samantha said you could open it. His fingers tremble slightly as he breaks the seal. A small smile breaks through. Honor roll. He's resilient. Like his father. Ryan's eyes meet mine for the first time. That's not what you used to say about me. People change. When they want to. He folds the report card carefully, tucking it into his shirt pocket near his 90-day sobriety chip. Mother called yesterday. Said she's selling her jewelry to keep the apartment. I know. You're not going to help her? I'm helping by not helping. The words don't taste bitter anymore. She's learning too. A comfortable silence settles between us, filled with the sound of falling leaves. Tommy's latest drawing sits between us, a family portrait where we're all holding hands, standing in front of a house that no longer exists. I wanted to hate you, Ryan says quietly. For the intervention, the arrest, all of it. But Dad knew, didn't he? That's why he chose you. He chose all of us. Just in different ways. Ryan pulls something from his pocket, a worn poker chip, the kind casinos give out. Found this in Dad's study, that last day. There was a note with it. He slides it across the table. The hardest bet is the one you place on yourself. I pick up the chip, feeling its weight. Did you know he had a gambling problem? Before we were born? Ryan shakes his head. Mother never said. Maybe that's why he knew what would save you. And what wouldn't. A nurse appears at the garden door, signaling the end of visiting hours. Ryan stands, hesitates, then pulls Tommy's drawing closer. I'm not ready to see him yet. But maybe. Maybe you could tell him about today? Of course. Emily? He turns back. I never thanked you. For choosing the harder kind of love. I watch him walk back inside, shoulders straight, steps steady. In my pocket, my phone buzzes with a text from Mother, her first in months. Just 3 words, you were right. I place Dad's poker chip on the table, letting the sunlight catch its worn edges. Some debts can never be repaid. Some wounds never fully heal. But maybe that's not what recovery is about. Maybe it's about learning to build something new from the broken pieces. Something stronger than what was lost. I leave the chip on the table. Someone else might need its lesson more than me.